Dear future
Future Saints, I could share with you all the things that make St. Martin so great. Our small class sizes, our beautiful campus, our ideal Pacific Northwest location. But St. Martin's is so much more than that.
You see, there's this spirit that lives beyond these hallways and classroom doors. It's outside these red brick buildings. It's down our winding walkways and trails, and above our towering evergreens. It's present in all of us, compelling us, challenging us
To pursue excellence and seek deeper understanding.
to see and change the world at home and beyond.
To connect with my culture while finding my own voice.
Create meaningful relationships and make a positive difference.
This is why St. Martin's is so special to me and to everyone it touches.
This feeling of compassion and community, welcoming and connecting all who come here.
Dear future saints, together we will learn and together we will grow.
And as saints, together, we will live with heart. Dear future
Saints, I could share with you all the things that make St. Martin so great. Our small class sizes, our beautiful campus, our ideal Pacific Northwest location. But St. Martin's is so much more than that.
You see, there's this spirit that lives beyond these hallways and classroom doors. It's outside these red brick buildings. It's down our winding walkways and trails, and above our towering evergreens. It's present in all of us, compelling us, challenging us
To pursue excellence and seek deeper understanding.
to see and change the world at home and beyond.
To connect with my culture while finding my own voice.
Create meaningful relationships and make a positive difference.
This is why St. Martin's is so special to me and to everyone it touches.
This feeling of compassion and community, welcoming and connecting all who come here.
Dear future saints, together we will learn and together we will grow.
And as saints, together, we will live with heart.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the live stream session with San Martin University today. And I'm so honored to introduce to you our special guest, Dr. Roger Douglas, Dean, Office of International Program and Development. Hi, Roger. Thank you for joining the sessions today. Do you want to say hi and introduce about yourself a little bit to your audience?
Sure. Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to visit with me a little bit. Whatever time zone that you might be in, I think most of you, it's probably morning time. And over here, we're headed into the evening. But I'm pleased to share a few moments with you and talk a little bit about St. Martin's and what we could potentially offer international students that come here.
Yep, thank you. So I'm going to show your PowerPoint slides. You can start to introduce about the university to your audience.
Sure.
All right, over to you, Roger.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Trisha. I want to point out, because this is a picture that you will see quite often when you are looking through materials of St. Martin's University. This is Old Main. It's the oldest building on our campus, and oldest meaning we've been around for 125 years. So old main houses the president's office, senior administration, and some classrooms. And it's a very iconic building that sits on top of a hill on the beautiful campus that's located in the forest. Next slide, please. So as you may have caught in the video, our location, we are in the state of Washington, which is in the Pacific Northwest part of the United States. Our borders are Canada to the north, and then to our east is Idaho, and then to the south of us is the state of Oregon, and then to the west of us is the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. We are about 1 hour south of Seattle. So most people will have a geographical reference as far as where Seattle is located. We're 1 hour south of that in the city of Olympia. You'll see the domed building here. That is our state capital. That is where the state government is housed. And so that's the city that we are in. And we have all kinds of weather, from snow to we're just now ending the summer where there's lots of outdoor activities. And the top bar you see, or the location, that's a site that you'll see on campus because, like I said, we are located in the middle of a forest. Next slide, please. So usually one of the most important parts that an international student will ask is, how much does it cost to go to the university? So this is a breakdown of the costs for attending St. Martin's. I'm going to jump right to the middle there where it says tuition only for 21 or 22. That is tuition, $40,210 US, and that's for 1 year. And so they would obviously split that into 2 semesters because we are a semester, that's how our academic calendar runs. The total cost that they would have to show on an I-20, which was what they present in order to enter into the United States, is $57,698. So that $57,000 includes the tuition, but it also includes some professional fees that are associated, housing, meals, health insurance, books, and supplies. And then, of course, anything that they might spend on their personal would be up and above that. Now, we do have international merit scholarships, and these are listed here. And so it ranges anywhere between $6,000 and $10,000 US based on how their academic performance has been prior to arriving to the university. And it's based on a 4-point GPA scale. We also offer scholarships in our nursing program that are listed there, and then one-time awards that we call a leadership award or service award, which is a very short application and a short essay that they would have to write to receive those. Now, we do offer a campus visit, and that can include a virtual visit, which we may have a chance to see later if we have time. But the campus visit, if they happen to be in the United States, they can set up a time to come visit it on campus. But again, they can visit us virtually as well. And that helps defray some of the costs that they might incur while they're attending the university. Next slide, please. So the university is made up of 4 colleges. We have the School of Engineering, the School of Business, College of Arts and Sciences, and the School of Engineering, Business, and Arts and Sciences. So those are our 4 colleges. There's over 37 different areas to study in those 4 different colleges. And what's really appealing is St. Martin's is a relatively small private university. So the student to faculty ratio is 12-1, meaning 12 students to 1 professor. And so the professors really get to know the students. And so if a student happens to be absent, they're going to wonder, where is that student? And why aren't they showing up for class? And again, if they see a student that is maybe needing some tutoring or what, they're easily to identify. And so very able to help a student early on if they are having trouble academically. And you'll see some of the screenshots there within this slide that shows either different parts of the building or professors that are lecturing for class. Next slide, please. So one of those 4 colleges is Arts and Sciences, and some of the programs that are included within that college are listed here. So that would be a lot of your social sciences, your physical sciences like biology, chemistry. We have our criminal justice program that is in our arts and sciences. We have our psychology. And then we have some pre-professional course foundations. So if someone is wanting to go into medicine, we could have some pre-medicine courses they would take, dentistry, law, and you'll see the others that are listed there. Again, that is one of the parts that is really in every degree is what we call our core courses. And those are kind of the foundational courses that you'll find in any bachelor's degree that assures them that they are getting a liberal arts education along with their content area, whatever that might be. Next slide, please. We have the School of Business. So we have business administration and accounting in our undergraduate programs. And then we also at the graduate level have an MBA program. And you can focus in on the MBA program in accounting or in economic development. We also have a track for international or global leadership development that is part of that master's program. The exciting thing too is that the MBA can have like a 4+1 program. So students can earn their undergraduate degree and their master's degree within a 5-year span of time. Next slide, please. And our Hal Ing Marcus School of Engineering is probably one of our more popular colleges or schools within the university for international students. We have a tendency to see a lot of engineering international students focusing in on civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and our computer science programs are housed within our School of Engineering as well. Again, most of these programs do have a 4+1. The advantage, again, of that is not only shortening the time that they are at university, but in their final year of their undergraduate, so that 4th year, they're allowed to take graduate level classes, but still not have to pay that graduate level price for a course. So it's a little bit of an economic a benefit to it as well. And you'll also see the master's programs at each one of those focused areas as well. Civil engineering, we actually also have an engineering management program, and then along with our computer science program as well. We are ABET accredited, so that is also an important thing to remember if students are attending the classes here once they graduate. That's very important when they go out to seek employment. Next slide, please. And then we have our College of Engineering, or College of Education and Counseling Psychology. You can tell it's the late evening over here for me. I've had a full day's work. And our undergraduate programs, we have elementary, we have special education and educational studies. And then again, at the graduate or master's level, master's in teaching, education, and arts and counseling. What also is nice about our College of Education, we really believe in getting our university students out into the public school systems so they get a real feel for what it would be like being a teacher once they graduate from the program. So we work very closely with the local school districts in order for them to get a true flavor of what a teacher would, what it would like to be a teacher in the school system. Next slide, please. We are proud, even though we are small, we're big. In the fact that we have been able to obtain large research grants over $1 million within our nursing program, within our sciences program. We have students that have gone on to be very successful in areas of employment in engineering with the federal government, whatever the course may be. Over, I think it's 80 or 90% of our graduates, 6 months after graduation, have either found employment or have entered graduate school, which is quite a high percentage for universities to state that claim. We also have Fulbright scholars, both St. Martin's faculty that have received the Fulbright to attend another university, or we receive Fulbright scholars from around the world to teach at our university. Next slide, please. So along with academic life is campus life. So we are a residential campus. We have different types of residential halls where students live. We have students live on campus, but we also have commuter students, or we have students that just live off campus. So this middle picture here is one of our halls called Spangler Hall. There's really every type of living that anyone would want. There's a traditional U.S. type of dormitory, but then we also have the ability to have students live in more of an apartment style setting where there's actually a kitchen, living room area, and then each one has their own separate sleeping area that is able to be separated off or closed and locked for their own privacy. There's a common area in all the residential halls for people to gather. We also have competitive sports. We're an NCAA 2 division, so we have competitive sports in many areas. But even if you're not at that level of competition, we have a recreational facility and lots of activities that happen on campus. Next slide, please. So some of those activities that do happen on campus are listed here. Lots of social clubs, lots of, there's some academic clubs, some that I may highlight with. We have a chemistry club. We have an active American Society of Civil Engineers. We have a kind of ethnic clubs. The other nice thing about it is that if you have a real interest and there's not a club that has been created, if you can find 2 other students, then you can organize your own club and hopefully grow club interest from there and have other people join. So it's really a nice way for students to make friendships, to grow. Often these have officer positions within the club, so it's a chance for them to show leadership skills if they so choose to participate in club activities. Next slide, please. Like I said, we do have NCAA Division II sports, so some of those are listed here. We have men's baseball, women's softball, men and women's basketball, track and field, soccer at men and women's levels, and volleyball. I will say that we have quite a good representation of international athletes on our competitive sports teams. We have a couple of men's basketball players, one from Australia, one from Serbia. We have a women's basketball player from Spain. We have Canadian players on both our men and women's soccer team. And I believe we also have a international player on the track and field team as well. So a good representation of our international athletes, and our teams are quite successful in their conferences. Next slide, please. So this is a snapshot of all the different things that our office, the Office of International Programs and Development, is responsible for. So we are responsible for international student services. So that means when they are on campus or even before they arrive, we help them through the application process. And I'll speak about that a little bit later, but we help with the immigration, issuing the I-20. Once they arrive on campus, we have host families. So these are American families that live close to the campus that welcome international students to come, and maybe they spend a weekend, or maybe over the holiday when the university is not in session, they welcome them for an American Thanksgiving or traditional Christmas in their house. This is one of the highlights for many of our international students, and these bonds with the families go well beyond after they graduate from the university. They really welcome them into their home, and they get to experience really what a slice of Americana living is like. We have service learning projects, so we get students out into the community to help with the food banks, perhaps, or food drives, community cleanup, things like that. These are all volunteer type of activities. They're not required to participate in any of them, but we quite encourage them to do so. We help with advising or connect them up with tutors so they make sure that they are very well supported academically. Students that are not meeting the English proficiency requirement when they are applying for a degree program can enter the university into our ESL program. So we actually have an ESL program at the university that our office oversees. So that's why you see some of those ESL courses listed there. We also have International Education Week. So you'll see these multicultural events happening that week. And then we have summer programs, which allows different universities, maybe different high schools, to send a group of students along with chaperones to us during the summertime for anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks to have a cultural exchange. We learn from their ethnic group, but they also learn about the university and the surrounding community. Next slide, please. Again, this explains a little bit more in depth about our intensive ESL program. Students test and then we place them whether they are at a beginning level or an advanced level. We also allow students to have what we call concurrent entry, which that means maybe they scored high enough on an English proficiency, but not fully enough to be matriculated directly into a degree program. So if they are concurrent, that means they would take 2 ESL classes and then 2 courses in their degree program. And hopefully over that semester of being concurrent, they could test out at the end of that semester and then fully matriculate into the degree program. So that's just kind of another way to look or enter into the university if need be. Next slide, please. So St. Martin's, again, we are small, but we're proud. This shows some of the rankings we have, both regionally and nationally. So we are ranked one of the 27 best regional universities in the West. West meaning along the East Coast, and that's including approximately about 10 to 13 states within the United States. We're rated as a top performer as a social mobility. So that basically means when the student is coming from one certain economic level, once they graduate from St. Martin's, they are able to perform better and raise and make more money maybe than their parents did. So they've moved on up the social mobility ladder and economic ladder. We're rated number 37 as being ethnic diverse, which is really, we have quite a representation of all different types of nationalities and ethnic groups across the university, which makes for a really rich and learning environment. And we're also rated a best value for our region within the West as well. And these are come from College of U.S. News and World Report. Next slide, please. Oh, and one of the last things is we're the most number 49 of the top 50 most transformative colleges in the universe in the United States, and we're the only one listed in the state of Washington. Again, a real testament to where we take a student from when they enter the university and how they exit the university, knowing what they want to do, who they are, and what they want to become. Next slide, please. So how to apply. So we have an online application that is quite simple. We require official transcripts, school records, external exams if that is the case, a declaration of finance form. So that basically means that they sign off that they have the affordability or funds to be able to attend the university, and that can be shown in a bank statement or other forms, and a copy of their passport. We encourage you, if any of you have international students or students in your home country that want to come to St. Martin's, that you would funnel their application through GSP, because they can help us tremendously in making sure that it is a right and good fit for that student to attend St. Martin's. Because we certainly don't want the student to spend a lot of time in the application process if they are truly not a good fit for the university. We want the student or the applicant to be successful, but we also want them to be successful once they reach St. Martin's, and GSP can help us with that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Roger, for very informative presentation about the university. So I saw that there's a lot of courses and faculties in the university, but during these circumstances, I think the most demanding course right now is nursing. Can you tell us a little bit more about the nursing program at St. Martin University?
Right. Our nursing program is highly competitive. And I will tell you, highly competitive in the fact that uh, the earliest someone could get into the university at this point, into the nursing program, would be in the fall of 2023. So over a year from now would be. And what makes it difficult, it's not impossible, because we have had graduate international students successfully enter into the program and graduate. We actually had 3 international students graduate this past spring from the nursing program, and they have quickly been picked up for employment right after graduation. They're in the OPT, which is the optional practical training stage right now, which is afforded to every international student. Once they have completed an academic program, they're allowed to work for 12 months in their field and earn a living. That's part of the immigration process. But what is nice about the nursing program, and there's such a demand, that these students are already being sponsored to find and have jobs after that period of OPT. So it's a very good possibility for international students to find employment in the United States if they so choose. So there's a list of requirements for student nursing applicants trying to enter into St. Martin's. You'll see some of the pictures that are here on this slide. We really have a state-of-the-art nursing lab. There's been over $1.2 million spent on this lab in order to make it really like a natural live setting. So nurses really have a strong grasp of the nursing profession once they leave the program. You'll see also the competition for the GPA is quite high. It lists here a cumulative of a 3.0, but to be real honest, students must have that are entering the program usually are entering with a 3.8 or higher in order to get into the program, because it is quite competitive.
Yep. Do you want me to go to next slide or?
Yeah, sure, if we have some time. So we do expect nursing transfers. So one successful way is for students, and to be honest with you, it's economical as well. If they want to enter into a community college that is close by, we have South Puget Sound Community College, or SPSCC. Students will enter through there, spend 2 years in their pre-nursing program, and then transfer over into the St. Martin's nursing program. Again, highly competitive, but there is a slightly higher percentage or possibility of them getting into the nursing program when they do transfer in versus that entering in as a 4-year. Next slide. And then we have what we call an RN to BSN admissions requirements. So that means the person already is a registered nurse, and they want to earn their bachelor's in nursing. And so we do have a program with that. It is, again, competitive GPA, a minimum of a C in each one of the nursing core or prerequisite requirements. The international applicant is required to submit all of their papers for review through a nursing organization for verification, and they also must sit for a national exam entering into that nursing program. Next slide, please. So how to apply? First thing I can say, apply very early. So if you have someone that is maybe in their, depending on how your secondary school is set up as far as apply a year before their last year in the high school or secondary program, because that allows you enough time to get all the information that you need in case they are wanting to enter directly into the nursing program. You'll see the deadline here is January the 15th of every year for submission of applications. And then it also shows if students are transferring, if they've been attending a local university in your home country. You'll see the dates there that they need to submit their applications along with other supporting documents. Again, here's the RN to BSN program. There are flexible dates with this program. This one has a little better chance of people getting in to the program versus the other two that I mentioned. So if the person already holds that registered nursing certificate, again, it's a little bit more of a vetting process for international students because we have to be reassured that they have met the foundational courses and areas within their nursing program in their home country or whatever program they did prior to. And they also have to sit for the exam in order to be eligible to enter into this program as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the information. I remember you mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that there's a virtual campus tour reward. So I think the audience is sending some questions, but before we can start to answer the questions, I think we'll take some time to introduce the virtual campus tour.
Sure.
Here we are. Do you want me to go by your instruction, or are you sharing the screen? Yeah.
I was going to say, if you, is there a possibility for you to go back right prior to this screen where there's actually a live video that plays? If you can't find it, I can certainly try to pull it up on my screen.
Yeah.
And try to
Using your screen. Yeah. Okay, got it. Um,
It's taking a while.
so is this the link before the tour?
Yeah.
So click enable video.
I don't know if the play on it is I think it's too much that it's not wanting to play correctly.
Oh,
So we can actually, what I can do is stop this, then I can answer some of their questions, and then I can certainly that.
Okay.
Oh, I think we're frozen.
Yeah, I think we're frozen. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear you. So I think let's go to the questions.
Okay.
So the first one you have is, what if a student who is already studying nursing program in the home country, can they apply for the transfer program?
They can. What it would require, if that student is wanting, which of course they would, is if they're wanting to transfer in any of those credits that they've earned at the university or school that they're attending in the home country, they would have to have those reviewed and approved to see if they meet the requirements for the courses in our nursing program. But they can apply, yes.
Another question is, what is the turnover time of the offer letter when they launch the application?
I'm sorry. No, I
The
only.
turnover, yeah, the like when we launch the application, when the student make an application, how long they will receive the offer letters?
Um, if it's the nursing program, it might be a while because there's that one deadline. So all of the applications will be reviewed then. If any other program, it's a short turnaround time. I would say once they have all the documents into our office, and if there's not anything that is trailing behind or that we need, usually we can make a decision within 48 hours of letting them know whether they are admitted or not. And then what happens once they are admitted, then we determine, okay, now we need the declaration of finances and things like that in order for them to prove they have the funding, and then we can generate the I-20.
Okay. So the next question is, for the ESL program, do you have the English placement test?
We do. We in the past we've used the TOEFL uh, paper-based test. However, we are moving more towards Duolingo because of its availability, basically, and it's much easier for the students to access, whether it's on our campus or prior to arriving. So uh, that is that is one of the tests that we probably prefer to for placement. But we do accept the different English proficiency exams. We accept TOEFL, we accept IELTS, we accept Duolingo, um, and PTE, Pearson's Teaching of English. Hello?
Sorry, everyone. We have a little bit of technical problems, so we gonna end the live stream. Thank you so much for spending your time. Oh, Roger's back. So sorry, Roger.
That's okay.
Yeah, there's a technical problem. Okay, here we're back. We can continue the Q&A sessions. Okay, so back to the previous questions. The turnover time when the student launch application, and do you do the pre-assessment if to know that if the profile is suitable to the course?
Yeah. So if GSP is helping with that process, that will only make it quicker once that whole application is received at St. Martin's. So, like I said, it's usually about a 48-hour turnaround. I would mention it might be a little bit longer for a graduate student application, because the reason why I say that is that a graduate applicant, we will need to send that application file to the department chair of that program in order for them to review and say yes, okay, and then we can send out the offer letter. But undergraduates, relatively simple. The only outside thing to that is the nursing program. It takes a little bit longer.
Thank you. I have another question asking, do you have the age restrictions for the nursing program?
No age restrictions, only if they're meeting just the requirements that are listed within the application process is fine.
Yep. Another questions, what are the popular programs for OPT at San Martin?
I would say most of the popular OPTs are in the STEM fields, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And the reason being, what's attractive about that is, so every international student is afforded the chance to have what they call the OPT period after they finish their degree program. If you're in a STEM field, you do the 1 year, and then you can apply for a 2-year extension. If approved, you can have a total of 3 years working after you have graduated from your program. And so that OPT happens at every change of educational level. So if a student comes here and is at a community college, once they earn their associate's degree, then they can have a year of OPT. Then they enter into St. Martin's, they finish their bachelor's degree, they have 1 year of OPT, potentially 2 more after that if it's in a STEM field. If they go on to graduate school, again, another 1 year, or potentially another 3 years if it's in a STEM field.
Another questions, do you have application fee?
For the graduate program, we do. Currently, the graduate program is a total of $150 for an application fee. For undergraduate, there is no application fee. For an ESL, it's a $60 application fee.
Yep, thank you. And there are questions about scholarships. How the student apply for it? Is this at the same time of application, and do you have like limited scholarships?
So currently, we don't have a limit on our scholarships. What we do is, once we receive the application and we look at their academic performance, their academic merit, we can determine right then if they are eligible to receive an academic merit scholarship. And that range anywhere between $6,000 to $10,000 US annually. So it can be made at the time of admittance.
Thank you. I saw more of the questions, but we already answered in the previous, like the same question is repeated. And our time is quite shorted out. So I think I'm gonna end this live stream now, and then I'll collect more. If you have more questions for Dr. Roger, or you need to have inquiries and you need to pre-assessment for your application, please contact us and we'll get back to you, Roger, for the answer. Again, on behalf of GSP, thank you so much for taking your time and sharing informative information about the university. We hope that we can see you soon in person. And thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Everyone have a very nice day. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.